Hi guys, welcome to our channel Family Nastar. In this video we are going to see what and all we made during our Eid. Though this Eid was very different from usual time where we have our friends and family, but this time we could not do that due to the lockdown and quarantine. We thought we will cheer ourselves up with some food and set up the table and create a feast for the family. So this is what we are going to see today, and I will be sharing the recipes of all these things that you see here. Starting with our breakfast table, we had idli, murtabak, parota, roti jalar, chicken curry and vatlappam. Also a few drinks like ruh afza, orange juice and rose bandung. We also had baked samosa and spring roll, also known as popia. For the lunch, we had agar agar, vatlappam, sheer kurma, biryani, raita, sweet tomato pachdi and mango cake. So the first one was the breakfast table setting, and this was the lunch table setting. The first recipe we are seeing here is roti jalar or a net crepe. So it's basically shaped like a net and it's a crepe made out of eggs and flour. This is a delicious one, also a dish that is part of all our traditional meals. So I first add 3 cups of flour into a mixie jar, and I add about half a tablespoon to 1 tablespoon turmeric powder. This is for smell and color. And add half a tablespoon salt, or adjust the salt according to your taste. Add 2 eggs, and it requires a total of like 3.5 to 4 cups of liquid. It has to be like a semi-thick batter. So I added 2 cups of coconut milk and about 1 to 2 cups of water. I adjusted it, and I also added half a cup of oil. And after that I just blended it so that it becomes a smooth batter, and then I strained it off to remove any lumps, because I need to put it in a squeezy bottle to make the net shape, or else the lumps get stuck in those nozzles. This is one of the traditional tools that we use at home. My grandmother's house and my mother's house and all, they use this. You can just ask for jalar cup, but I used this one because it's much more easier to use. Heat a flat non-stick tawa and then just squeeze it in a circular motion like a flower. You can also use an empty bottle and just poke holes in it, and you can do the same thing. It is actually quite fun to do this. And you wait for one side to cook. You will know because you won't be able to see the batter. It will be properly cooked. That means it's done, and you can also see some golden strands. Then after that you just flip it or you roll it and you take it off stuff. You can have it hot. Since I'm using a non-stick pan, the amount of oil that I use is very less. It's just to brush the pan. Now it's ready. How good does that look? It's usually had with any kind of curries. Murtabak is another traditional dish of ours. It's part of every celebration. It's basically a stuffed pancake. So we are using the same batter that we made the roti jalar with, and we are making it into a pancake. Flip sides and cook it for 10 seconds. Traditionally, it's also made with parota dough. This version is jalar murtabak. They will basically stack 3 to 4 jalars and then they will stuff it. But I instead choose to make a one crepe and then stuff it. It is a much easier option this way. The filling can be vegetarian or non-vegetarian, anything that you want. It's up to you entirely. So you put it in the middle, shape it like a square or a rectangle, then fold it to a square or a rectangle so that all the filling is safe inside. It is also ready right now, but traditionally our version always has eggs brushed on both the sides and then toasted. So that is what we are doing here as well. So cook on both the sides till it is golden brown. This is optional. If you want it, you can do it. If not, you can still skip it. It's not an issue. Our murtaba is ready now. So this was the filling that we used for the murtabak, for the samosa and the spring roll, the popiam. We went with a very simple vegetarian filling because there was already a lot of eggs and meat that was being eaten that day. This is a very simple filling. In a pan, take 2 to 3 tablespoons of oil, 3 large onions, and add some salt and sweat the onions. Make sure they cook very well. Then add about 1 teaspoon of ginger garlic paste. Mix it well and let it cook. Now I added diced potatoes and diced carrots. You can also add green peas or any other vegetables or meat. Mix it well and let it cook. I added half a teaspoon of turmeric powder, 1 teaspoon of chili powder and 2 teaspoons of curry powder. I also added salt. This is according to your taste. So once you add and mix, do taste and add any spices that you want. This is done once the vegetables are cooked but still holds its shape, because that will help us in filling. Steamed egg cake or vatlappam is another one of our traditional delicacy. Add 4 eggs to the blender. Just mixing this in the blender makes it very easy. Take about 2 to 4 tablespoons of sugar. Start with 2 tablespoons and then grind it and add if you need more. Pinch of salt to enhance the taste. 1 tablespoon of ghee. 2 to 3 tablespoons of milk powder. You can also add nuts, cardamom powder, but I don't add those both. Blend it to a smooth mix. Grease any mold with ghee and just pour it in. So set up a steamer. Since this is a steamed egg cake, I actually used an idli pan that I have. Cover the cake pan with an aluminium foil or a plate, because or else the water droplets will fall into the cake, so it's important to cover it. Steam it for 10 to 15 minutes. Put a knife or a skewer and check it should come out clean. We used a frozen paratha this time. It was just a heat and serve, quick to make. Toast it on a flat tawa with or without oil. It just takes about a few minutes. You will be able to see golden crust forming on top and it becomes soft and puffy. See, it's done now. This is the traditional tomato sweet pachadi. It is a classic side dish that comes along with our biryani. Boil the water and put in the chopped tomatoes and remove the peel once it comes separately. Add enough amount of sugar, keep tasting and add a pinch of salt. You can also add ghee and dry fruits and nuts. Cook till it thickens and the raw smell is completely gone. This is like a candied tomatoes and it's really good. Now it's time for every Eid special, the biryani. This time we went with chicken biryani. We served it along with raita, a simple curd and onion raita. You just beat the curd, add onion, green chili, coriander leaves and salt and mix it together. Cook the garam masala for like 3 minutes and then add the onions. Let it cook really well. You should be able to see the bubbles in the onion. Fresh ginger garlic paste adds a really good taste. Add the chicken and salt and let it cook really well. Add fresh green chili, turmeric powder and chili powder. Mix it well and let it cook. Then add the tomatoes, curd, chopped coriander leaves and mint leaves and let it cook, and once that is cooked, add 2 lemon juice or taste it before adding, because tomatoes can also give tanginess. It will look like this once it's ready. Take half kg basmati rice, soak it for 10 minutes and semi-boil it for 10 minutes, and then take the rice and just spread it over this gravy. Don't mix it and let it go on dum for 30 minutes. Don't open the lid for 30 minutes. Then after that you can check to see if the rice is cooked. Don't mix the rice. You can just keep taking from the bottom up from the side and serve. Agar-agar, or also known as China grass, it's actually very good for the body. It comes in powder form as well, but this is how we traditionally use it. So the ratio is 10 to 15 grams of agar-agar for 1 liter of liquid. It can be water, milk, coconut milk, or a mix of this. So this is how it looks. The seaweed, it's a seaweed. So I measured 15 grams out. You have to wash it in water and let it soak, because this needs to soften up a little bit, and then clean it by straining the water off. And you put it back in the pan, add half a liter of water, bring it to a boil, add enough amount of sugar, taste it. You can add more or less depending on your taste. Cook till there are no grains visible. It has to be smooth. And for the liquid part, I took half a liter of water and half a liter of coconut milk. If you want to add only water, add the whole liter at the beginning itself. Or if you are going to substitute with normal milk or coconut milk, once the agar-agar is cooked, turn off stove and add it in the end. I then equally divided the mix and added pandan flavor in 1/2 and rose flavor in 1/2, and I poured it on one layer, let it set in the fridge for 5 minutes, and then I poured the next layer and let it set overnight. We used a spring roll sheet for the samosa and the spring roll, and we used the same filling that we used for the murtabak as well, and we baked this. So this is how the sheets look on the inside. You can cut this to any size and shape and use it, or you can just use the whole sheet as well. Make sure it's not frozen when you use it, so you can put it in the fridge the previous night and then you can use it the next day. So you start from one corner and then you just start rolling. You can basically shape it into any shape that you want. It's up to you. And use water or maida mixed with water as a paste to seal the corners. Make sure the corners are sealed so that the fillings doesn't leak out. Instead of deep frying, we baked it. You can bake it at 190 degree for 30 minutes or up. Make sure to brush oil on both the sides so that the skin is crispy. Just bake till it's done. Sheer kurma is a traditional dessert that is special for Eid. It is very simple to make. You start off with a tablespoon of ghee, roast chopped nuts and dry fruits, any dry fruits or nut that you want, and keep it aside. We will be adding this last. Use a thin vermicelli, not the normal one that we use for savory dishes. This is thin, so it tastes very good. Roast it in the same pan in the ghee. Add in 1 liter of boiled milk, and this is unsweetened kova. This gives good creaminess to it. It is optional to add. Add condensed milk and a pinch of salt for taste. Let it boil well till the vermicelli is cooked. Now taste and adjust the sweetness by adding more condensed milk or sugar. Add half the nuts and mix it, and use other half to garnish. We also pack some boxes to give for our friends and neighbors around us. This was a little something that we could do at this situation. Keeping up with the Eid tradition, we called our family and friends to wish them, and they wished us back too. And these are some of the pictures that I'm sharing with you. This is my aunt's Eid feast at her home. My grandma, auntie, little cousins, and they're from different state, different city, different countries. So I'm just sharing a few. This was very nice. My aunt sent this over to my mom for Eid breakfast. It's a blessing to have good family and friends in our life. I know this has been a challenging Eid for many of us. If you were with your family, feel blessed. You were one of the lucky ones. For the rest, thank God that you guys are at least safe. I know this Eid is unforgettable, for that matter even this whole year. Even during this tough time, let's remember that this festival is all about giving and charity. We did that. I hope you guys did that too. That in itself is a true blessing, to be able to give and help those in need. It is a very important message during this festival, and that should always be on our mind. I'm so happy to share this video with you guys. I hope you enjoyed this too. It was such a pleasure. Do subscribe to our channel and don't forget to click on the bell button icon. See you soon everyone. Bye.